Alrighty then, we are live. And we're live well, almost right at 9. Hey man, let me just say, I keep telling folks, you just never know about us. About me. I'll go live at the drop of a hat. You better be paying attention if you want to be part of it.
If you remember and you're on the right slipstream.
All right, yes. I know, right? No, see, this is a test. It is all a test. Are you paying attention? And if you're not, you apparently create shit and ideas and then forget. Just to be, or you slip over into another timeline, because I really do feel like that's what happened.
Okay.
Listen, like I said, you
why
and
don't you tell them your idea? And
right. Okay. So let me just say first, it's the Gal Pal Posse back again.
Hello.
Lisa Flameno Rush and BZ Rieger have joined us here, and we're going to, it's called Soul Singing Bowls Play Experience, because BZ got a new toy that she was going to teach herself how to play with. And I said, oh, why don't we do that? Because I'm full of really good ideas.
Yes, you are.
And I said, I would love it if you would feel into each of our fields and just play. Create some music with your singing bowls and play and record them. I kind of told everybody that this morning in my live what we were going to, and I also admitted the fact that I was slipping over into another timeline because of that. So BZ, this is all live. None of us have heard this yet. Well, BZ did because she was creating it.
right.
So you did one for me, one for Lisa, one for yourself, right? And then did you also mixed them together, right? So we're just gonna play with that and feel into it. And now what are we gonna do? What did I say? Because we're gonna share what comes in for us, right? Listen, you.
I think I played the bowls during the pieces, but no. Yes, you said what you wanted to do was to listen to each one, and then when you had said the person who it is that's being played would then say what they felt, what they thought, whatever, and then listen to the next one, and maybe people could chime in with what they had there, and then
yeah,
mine too, and then I think I was the one who said, well, I could try putting them all together. So anyways, when I tuned in to do it, I've only played with the bowls maybe in 3 different times, a total of, I don't know, 7 minutes, maybe less. So
all right. I love that.
But when I got off of work, I raced back and got everything set up, and I tuned in for a minute. I figured I would do Sheila first since it was her crackerjack idea.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm full
but
of them.
Apparently Lisa's wanted to play first. So I did that, and then Sheila's wanted to play, and then I did mine. And they're differing lengths, and Sheila's actually ended up being slightly longer. So when I stack the audio, well, actually, it's kind of interesting. The video comes through as kind of ghosted. You can see bits of another video right below it. So hands are moving. I was just doing it quick. I didn't have time to, sit down and go, okay, let me figure out how to do this. I just.
Right.
Anyways, but because of the way the length was, I laid the tracks down in the order that they came through, right? So Lisa and then Sheila.
Okay.
And
Right.
because Sheila's is slightly longer, again, I thought about stacking them all on top of each other so that they all started. And then I was
Right.
nudged to actually slide them a little. And I just put my hand on the thing and was told where to stop. So they actually come in, and I don't think I did a very good job of the transition, but they should start. They'll roll into each other, and then one will taper off, and then Sheila's is the start, and Sheila's is the end because it's the longest one, but the other ones will come in on that.
Well, the way I felt moved to describe it this morning in my live, I still feel very, I'm very clear as to why this idea came in. When just to be clear with you, BZ, when the idea came, I hadn't even thought about doing it on camera and sharing it with everyone. To be honest, when it came in, I thought, oh, this is just fun, something to be fun and play with, right? Because but I love the way that it's all developed now, because I also like the idea of, so each one of us are going to feel into it as you play. And I would like to invite everyone who's joined us here this evening, which so far we have Yellow Brick Road, and
Welcome.
awesome, the bell icon worked, he said.
Yay.
Jennifer Brown was able to join us, and Lori Wheeler is in the house. These are all the
Hello,
ones
friends.
that, yeah. So I want to invite all of you guys that are here too, to just hear and write down, or and as it's playing, either write or type what you're feeling, what comes in for you, anything that you get from it, and play along as well. I really think that would be really cool. I mean, you know, why not? Let's just throw it out there, right? So
Yeah, we're all here. Let's play.
Right. Screeching cats, write anything down.
oh, stop it, you. Listen, I love the fact that you didn't have a whole lot of time to sit down and put the head into it.
Oh no, head wasn't anywhere near.
I
The heart was all
know.
right there, and in fact, I had to find the head somewhere to go. How do I use this software again? I did. I was like, wait a minute, why does this not look familiar at all in the video software? And thought, oh, because I'm totally not linear at all, and I had to kind of put it back in so I could do the mechanical thing.
Well, that's very interesting too, because obviously it took you into another state of being, and that's what I had a feeling might happen. That's why I'm so interested in doing this. I think that's really cool.
Well, a couple things I wanted to note. Let's see if I can just do this without messing anything up.
Okay. Lori Wheeler said, hey Sheila, BZ should try to do the bowls like you do readings for us. He. Yeah, I would love for BZ to be able to do things like that, but BZ is so busy. That's why when she actually said that we had arranged for all of us to be together 3 nights in a row, I was kind of shocked. I was like, are you kidding?
I know, how exciting.
I know. I know I wouldn't have forgot that.
I was trying to find the time stamp. Anyways, I don't use this particular computer very much, so I don't really know how to use it.
Okay.
Which sounds weird, but hey, anyways, the timestamps are kind of interesting. So Lisa's was the first. It was just shy of 2 minutes. Sheila's was the longest, second, which was a little bit over 2.5 minutes. I think 2:40 something. Lisa's was 130 something, 140 something, and mine was 205. I remember that because the 7 is resolved. But what I do think is interesting, when I put them all together, it's the compilation one. So that has I put a little graphic that says Lisa, and then so there's a break, so it's quiet, and that's the only thing you see. But that resolved to 917, and I think it's particularly interesting, because this is in the portal that we're, in the trinity that we're going through right now with the solstices and going into the portal. As we jump from this day to the eclipse to tomorrow, we excuse me, we are in essence, and so in essence, in the essence of us, in the frequency of us, and in the tangible materialized part of us, we are completing the old and stepping fully into the new. And so for me, the 9 is a completion, and 17, of course, is one of the things where it resolves to an 8, which is abundance, but also it's Abraham Hicks has always said, 17 seconds for a new vibrational thought process to lock in for you. And of course, 17 is Q. So it has all of the linear and the multidimensional. And if I'm not mistaken, 917 resolves to a 7, which is divine. So.
Well, actually, 917 revolves in goes to an 8. It numerologically is an 8, and for me, 8 always indicates infinity for one. Materialization, manifestation, those are things for me personally when I feel into the 8, the number 8. So that's for me personally. But yeah, I think it's really cool that it's also got the 17, because 917, like you said, resolves to a 17. So yes. Okay, so Angie, I know you've just joined, and so what I'll say again, because there's a lot more folks that have joined, so what we're getting ready to do is we are BZ created with her new singing bowls. We have this idea to have her feel into each one of the 3 of us field and allow a creation of playing the singing bowls come through, and she recorded it, and then mixing all 3 of those recordings together, and again, whatever fashion you felt to move to do. And so we're going to play them. You're going to hear them as well. And
for the very first time, all ears.
Yes, by the way, none of us, with the exception of BZ, has heard any of these recordings.
I didn't listen to the recording. I just.
Oh yeah, you just listened. You heard it as you were playing it. So, and you haven't heard the compilation of all 3. Well, one of the things that I felt about this, and what I shared this morning in my live, is that I'm really interested in it because of the Trinity aspect, because of, I'm not real clear exactly what it is that Tesla meant when he spoke on the idea of, if you want to understand, the universe, life itself, the frequency of 369, right? And so that, I'm sure I didn't quote that correct, but at any rate, I really feel like mixing the 3 together too is going to be quite interesting. So the reason I'm telling you guys all this too is I would love it if you yourselves will feel into each recording, And then share in the chat what comes in for you as you're hearing it. You will know, because BZ's going to let us know which one is which as we're going. And now is it is the audio separate from the video? How are you going to work this, BZ?
Well, I can either one. I can play the video, and then just stop it when the first one finishes and the next person's name card comes up. You know, it's just a like a Chiron comes up, so I can stop it, and then if we want to talk about it, you know, however you want to do it, and then I can keep going.
Okay, awesome. I love that. So let me just see what everybody's saying in here real quick before we begin. So Make Earth Love Again, Lori has joined us as well. Kathy Ashby, yay. Awesome. I'm so glad to have all of you guys. So, oh, Kathy said she was playing her tongue drum today. So that's awesome. Okay, so as you hear what we're getting ready to play, and Make Earth Love Again, Lori said she said, yeah, that's really strange. I've had this urge to play drums. So
Love it.
Okay, so yeah, Lori, since you were so kind to let Make Earth Love Again know what we were doing, if anyone else happens to come in the room and ask that question, if you wouldn't mind retyping your what we're doing, because she was sharing what we're doing. So anybody else that happens to come in, if you wouldn't mind doing that for us, I would greatly appreciate you, my love.
One of the things too, I've nudged to say is that this was very fun, and like I said, I totally stepped out of, you know, the kibitzing smarmy about this, that, and the other thing. I said, okay, you know, there's a nice chair out on the porch. You just go run out there. I'm busy doing this, and you know, you come back in when I'm done. But right in these moments, we're unfurling our wings and unfurling that which is our fantastical and our true play, which has no bounds to it and has no, you know, kibitzing to it. It's just playing, simply for the sake of playing, and whatever that is. And when you're together, and like as this, you know, kind of organically came up, oh, well, that's kind of cool, and I would like, you know, and then it unfolded. And actually, what was interesting when we were talking about originally, which was Wednesday night, Sheila had mentioned the whole thing, and then in the room that I was in, Sheila said, "Well, let's record it, and you know, and maybe we'll even do it live, right? And wouldn't that be cool? That'd be fun to play." And part of me was going, "Okay, I guess I have to practice these bowls because I just don't know how to do them." But anyway, so I didn't get much chance to practice with them. But then when we did the recording last night, Sheila said, "Well, when can we play again?" And I said, "Tomorrow. Remember, we had this whole thing planned out."
and you know, here's like I said, Lisa was present for that conversation, BZ.
Yeah.
She didn't have, so yes, I think this, just the idea of doing this, you know, and what it is, I don't know. And I'm not attached to it. I'm not, you know, I think it's really interesting that we had that in that fashion, because look, you know me, I'm so excited to get to play with you guys whenever you get to play. Lisa and I can play just about any time because we live together. We don't get to play with you all the time.
No.
Your time is very precious. And so I know it wasn't something that I set up and then just forgot, because that's, you know, we talked about that too. I am not what they call an autodidact, but I'm damn close.
Right.
You know, I can direct people in a store, go to aisle such and such, go to the second shelf down, it's over to the right. So it's not, it's absolutely interesting to me that it just totally.
Right. Well, and the other thing that's interesting, I just wanted to bring up, because this is something that I've done for years and years and years and years, probably several decades now. And that is when I'm nudged to do something. So when I heard you say, yeah, we could record it and maybe even do it live, and I thought about it, and so I asked me in that moment, this would be fun to play with. Will you record it, regardless of, you know, how it turns out? Just I said yes. And so regardless, I haven't heard it, so I don't know. But why I want to bring that forward is, in these moments now, there is that connection. There is that total bond, best friendship, however you want to describe it, in ways that you think are the most delicious. And so if I'm asked, and I am quite a lot to do things or this, that, and the other thing, and I say yes, then I do it, regardless of how hard it is, or how easy it is, or how fun, or how scary, or if it costs money and I have no idea how to, make the money appear to go do it. I just do it anyways. And right now, as I said, we're jumping out of one, completely finishing one, and into the next. And that whole idea of being fresh and new and innocent in that play, and just, wild abandon of joyful love, is, I think, is the best way to describe it. To just say yes and trust that more than your best interest, which is a very linear, phrasing, is it's being in the palm of God's hand and just going and doing it and playing. So, anyways, that's what we got.
Well, I want to share real quick that Lori said, "Wow, Sheila, if the bowls had that effect on you, I hope they don't make us forget stuff too." Let me be clear. Let me be clear. We have not heard the bowls yet. So just the idea of doing this
The bowls apparently are portals.
Yeah.
This is fabulous. I love it.
That's right. Let me just go on the record right now as saying that I will not be held responsible for
any teleportation
of anything. Oh, okay. All right. So whenever you guys are ready, I'm up for this. I am just so jazzed for this. This is so
I
great.
know.
You says host has disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, what? Not true. Hold on a second. Okay, try that now.
Okay, so oh, give me a break.
Oh no, what? That's your video.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know if I want to do this now on the thing. Why is it doing this?
I don't know.
Well, if it just takes a second, we'll do it. If not, we'll have to go with the audio, which
I
I'm
gotcha.
assuming would work. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm hearing the Jeopardy music in my head right now. Ta-na-na-na. Oh, sorry.
Okay, how do I get the banner in the middle to go up?
Say what now?
Oh, never mind that.
The banner of what, babe?
The banner. Can you see the video?
I sure can.
Okay,
Yep.
so I'm gonna go. So you want me to do them one at a time, right?
Yeah. Okay, Lisa, what did you, I would love your reaction.
Okay, well, I had a hard time hearing it.
It was a bit difficult, yes, for me too.
I think
But
you
what
may need to listen with, anyways, I'll send you the thing, but I think listening in headphones, because it cuts out all the noise in between the speakers. Because it
Yeah, I have
sounded
the
much
headphones.
better. Yeah, it sounded much better when I was
Yeah,
playing.
you have the headphones, Lisa, but it's coming through
Yes.
Zoom too. So
Right. But what I could hear was absolutely beautiful. At the end, when you were sort of just gonging them and then you got it going, it sounded like you had three bowls going, or maybe something in the room was resonating, but it felt like it was gathering sound. I don't know. It was very interesting for me. I thought it was beautiful.
The
Thank you.
white bowl, in this particular round, the white bowl was the closest to the camera, so it's
Yes.
pure white. Is what I said was it's a heart chakra bowl,
Okay.
and I think that's an F. And the other one is pineal gland, the purple one.
That's so funny. I couldn't hear that one at all.
Really? And that's an F sharp. Or an A sharp, I guess.
okay, now that's very interesting to me that you could,
I thought so too, Sheila.
because I could hear it. And
Yeah.
I got visuals.
Yeah, see? Blank.
Wow.
I couldn't even hear it.
Really?
Yes.
They have very distinct, different sounds.
They really are. Ah, see, Jennifer Brown picked up exactly what I did. Oh, that's very interesting.
Oh, I love it. Tell me, what did you get?
So let me share with you what I'm seeing here in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
So okay. Jennifer said, Merry Twinkle Forest Fairy. Okay. I wrote down light beings flitting around you. That was the very first thing I saw, and I felt the Fey realm with the purple bowl. I felt the Fey realm, and I felt them flitting right around, right? So very interesting to me.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
I know.
Wow.
I love this.
That makes me want to cry for some reason.
Wow.
Wow.
Your body knows the truth of it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, this is the pineal, and it's an A sharp.
Uh-huh. Well, you know, that's been my big complaint. I can't see. I want to see, you know.
Well, I wanted to say too that Yellow Brick Road said the first thing that came to mind that it was 432 hertz, and you are absolutely correct.
Yes.
BZ made sure that they were. And Make Earth Love Again said something about the soul. She just says solar plexus chakra. Lori said,
Okay.
My description words were soft. I felt it in the heart. Rays shining out from the heart. Make Earth Love Again, Lori said staccato feel. And she said not uncomfortable. Purple. And she saw yellow, heard purple. And she said felt like flitting. See, this is very interesting to me how that's Mary was very loud and repeated itself. Twinkle came next, then fairy in the trees. There was a deep power present. Well, and I have to say that I got the light beings flitting, and then I also, when you moved on to the other one, I felt a building, a building of
Yes.
energy. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And I also, uh, okay, so you and I have had conversations about what it is you do, right?
Yes.
About
Flittering beings, by the way.
about the you know, how it is that I you
You're going robo.
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
did.
I think she's still talking.
Sheila, you're not flitting, you're roboing.
I know.
Are you back? Come back.
Pull your energy in a little bit. Yeah.
Oh boy.
While we're waiting for her to come back, Lisa, I just want to ask you, can you hear this?
Yes. Yes.
That's the pineal gland one.
Okay. I heard it perfectly that time.
Yeah. And they were both going, the whole time there.
Man.
And I think it's funny that Sheila's gone, except it's her channel
I
and
know.
her
I
connection,
guess
and we're still
I
here.
guess I'm the host now. So
Right, but I mean, her
help us
computer
all.
is disconnected.
Yeah. Oh boy. Come back, Sheila.
That's funny.
I know. I can't even see the chat room or anything.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if everybody else is still there. So it still says we're live on YouTube. So while we're waiting
Okay.
for Sheila to come back, I'm just going to pull out the other bowl, which is the heart chakra bowl,
Okay.
and I'll play that and see if you can hear that
Okay. Thank you.
one too. And then
Hmm.
hopefully Sheila will come back in time to hear
Yes.
her song.
Right.
Sheila, come back in the room so you can hear your song. All right, let's try not to knock everything over. All right, so this is an F, and that it's just pure white crystal, and that's the
Okay.
heart chakra one.
Nice.
And that one is, so you heard that one?
Yeah, that one's beautiful. Well, they both are actually. They're just gorgeous.
Yeah, so you don't have the chat up either, right?
No, because I'm on my phone.
Yeah, I don't have any idea how to do it. Sheila said I could watch, a video from the other night with the chat, but it doesn't pull up the chat for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just got a PM from Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer. They can hear us. They're still with us. We are indeed live.
All right, cool. So but we haven't gotten a text or anything from Sheila, and she hasn't banged on the wall,
No.
which is right to your right.
So funny.
Okay, so what I thought we could do then is we'll just play hers, or do you want to, since we're waiting for Sheila,
Yeah, we have to wait for Sheila.
do you want to hear yours again then?
Could I? Because maybe this connection, maybe it was just, I don't know. I'd love to see if I could hear it.
Okay.
If everybody doesn't mind sitting through it again, that would be great. Thank you.
Well, it's only 1 minute and 48 seconds, so I think
Right.
I think they can manage.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, am I back?
Yep.
Yes. Thank you. We were about to hear me again because we didn't know what to do. You were
Well,
gone. We
thanks
couldn't
for
play
being
yours. Okay, I want to hear it. Let me see.
Okay, so I'm going to attempt to say what I didn't get to say before.
Yes, please. Thank you.
I'm trying to keep myself in check, just so you all know. Well, you know, you and I have had lots of conversations, Lisa, about what it is that you do, you know, right? Holding a loving thought sometimes when no one else in the room is able to.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And also how you know how we've talked about how there's a certain point where when folks are at a certain frequency, it's like this thing of having, it's like having them in your, not your wake, but bringing them along with you, right? That's what, and I know I'm not describing that right, but you know what I'm referring to.
Yes.
It's that building. It's a support. It just brought that entire thing up for me. It is the, oh, okay, thank you. What I'm getting there is it's the feeling of unconditional love that I always feel emanating from you for the all. It was, but it was, for me, it was like the building and become like, okay, what I'm being shown in this moment is that expansive bubble of you that you did while you were in Washington, D.C., that you have done here, right?
Yeah. Yes.
That's what I felt. And like I said, I wasn't doing a very good job of describing it until I was just shown your energy field expansion, right? And that's what that brought up for me.
Oh,
and it's interesting lovely. You say it that way, Sheila, because when I was playing them, when I was, you know, getting it to sing, like my grandmother used to teach us with wine glasses and water, you know.
Yeah.
But the bowls did exactly what you described. They picked up resonance, and it sounded like a chorus of bowls in the different octaves, right, of that note.
Yes.
And then when I stopped, it kept building. I wasn't touching it, kept building, and then it went on for a long time. So if you're looking at the video, watch my hands. The hands aren't touching, and I'm just pausing because the crescendo of the sound was going on for quite some time, and I wanted to try to hold, you know, not rush to turn it off, right?
Right.
So in case one could hear, maybe with headphones, maybe with a better, I don't have to try to do a better audio recording, but anyways.
No, I'm going to try again, like inside the house, because I could tell that some of it was maybe my phone or my audio, because it was so blank I couldn't even hear the like background noise that I could hear when I could hear the bowls. Like, you know, when it's just dead silence, there was nothing broadcasting. So either that or I'm, you know, not to hear it. I don't know. But I'm going to keep trying. I'd love to hear.
I love that. Thank you all for being concerned. No, we didn't break me. Not this time. But thank you. I love that. And I actually love the fact that you guys were able to stay too. I was a little concerned about that. I didn't know.
Yeah, it made me the host. It said you are the
awesome.
host.
Okay, great. That's awesome. Okay.
I should have picked BZ, but that's okay.
Oh,
Lisa's like, great, I have no idea what to do, but okay.
Yeah. BZ will tell me, and then I'll do it.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna go on to Sheila's
Yay!
now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That's really interesting. Okay, so you guys get to go first this time.
Okay, I'll start. That was gorgeous. Although I had difficulty hearing all of it. So I think I'm having an audio issue because it would just be silent and then I'd hear it again. But I could hear more of Sheila's than I did of mine. And oh, wow, there was a lot of color for me, a lot of swirling. So I got a lot of spiraling. I had a sensation of spiraling, a lot of movement. And it's funny because I experienced that song the way I experienced Sheila. So there was sort of a tentative wong, 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 if that's a good way to describe it. Sort of a, and then it was like, for me, I felt like that was representative of sort of what you label your intellectual exercise, but I felt it more like getting your tuning yourself, finding that, and then there'd be this resonant thing, and it would go more than the not sure. It's there, but then it's not, and it's there, and then it's not, and then a real strong. And then it was like intellectual exercise out here, just a tiny, you know what I mean? And I just felt this constant growth and expansion, and there was a real steady, solid, like I heard more of yours than I could of mine. And I experienced you in that way too. You're just really, consistent and strong and full, rich the sound was, and the colors, there were lots of colors. I felt like Sheila, like I could see all these swirling colors behind my eyes. It felt delicious.
Wow.
I think there's a name for them. For me, the bowls each were glowing. They started out the colors that they are, and then they glowed in more colors. But
Ooh.
there was a video playing that was the essence of Sheila inside of each bowl. So isn't there some kind of thing where there's some kind of surround sound type of a video thing you could put in. It's a, I don't know. Well, someplace there is something because I was watching it. But anyways, so inside the first bowl was a video started playing when it was being played, and it had it was all sorts of geometric patterns and colors. And at one point, when the sounds were more resonant and more,
Yes.
kind of expanding in circles or waves, like if you look at ripples on a pond, if you throw a stone in or something, it was fascinating. It was syncopation. The bowls were singing, and the color show, the video inside light show, was fountains of color that were erupting as the sounds went. And at one point, both bowls were singing to each other, and both video, whatever the carousel mechanism was, inside each bowl were almost like the dueling of fountains of color. I mean, they were in syncopation to each other. It was actually quite fascinating. So I don't know what that thing is called, but
Cool.
it's very interesting.
Well, when you started saying that, for some reason, the word synesthesia came in my head. That's not what the thing is you're speaking on, but it's very close. Now, I have to ask, because I was gone. BZ, did you, I didn't hear, I'll have to, this is one time, I guess I'll have to go back and listen to the video, because I didn't hear what you shared about Lisa's. So you did that while I was gone, though, right?
No, I didn't get to share because we were getting to that point and you were going to finish.
Okay. All right. Well,
for Lisa's, for me, I didn't have the same video playing within them. I had just more of how would I describe it? Just a reading of her flow. Was like she was, that's kind of an interesting way to put it. So she was in a fairy pool, and as she was on her back gliding through the fairy pool, underneath the pool, the surface of water would illumine with the different colors as she went through.
Aww.
That's very interesting on a couple of different levels, because of some of the things that, you're reading with Lisa Gaulis. Yes, you're reading Lisa Gaulis comes to mind.
Yeah.
Also, the Nightingale also comes to mind.
Yeah.
Right. An aspect of Lisa is Nightingale, who is guardian and filter of the portal that we opened here back in June of 2016 or July of 2016. And so I felt your description there. And I know that she is of the Fae / elemental realm as well. So that's very interesting. Now, to share what I got, I did get lots of color. Okay, lots of color.
Yeah.
When I was listening to the one for me, I will be honest in that, Lisa, when you were describing the sort of tentative at first, what I was getting was, that oscillation thing that, BZ had a word for it at one time. I think she was calling it flip-flopping. I
Okay,
have
yeah.
flip-flopped a couple of times, as we all know.
You're just a
Those are the
little
big,
tentative.
right. So there was that. But then also something else that came in for me, and I don't, again, I have said many times, I am not everyone's cup of tea, as we all know. And I also carry some frequencies that make some a little uncomfortable. And that came in for me in hearing that. I could hear and I recognize that frequency in that I don't know. The way I've chosen in these moments of now to look at it is that it is a frequency of transparency. It is a frequency of, well, I'm fiercely devoted to learning everything I can about myself, and good, bad, ugly, whatever it is,
Right.
let's take a look at it, right? And
Yeah.
so I could feel that BZ, how you talk about the sloughing off of distortion, right? That's what came, whether it's my own or someone else's, that it's in that frequential. So I'm really very interested. This has really been a fascinating
I
play,
know.
I have to say. Now I want to look here and see what everybody else is saying here. Oh, Team Trump was able to join us. That's awesome. Welcome, welcome. CC came in the house and she said that it sounds very similar to her Reiki meditation. Kathy said that she loves the sound of the bowls, calming, and at the same time, she could feel her vibration rising.
Ooh,
Yellow Brick
nice.
Road said he had an image of the Egyptian people playing on the inside of a pyramid.
Oh, cool.
That's
I
very cool.
love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great share. Thank you.
Yeah. As you first started and still see it, he says.
Ooh.
Jennifer said, soothing, watery lullaby by the lake, steady, sure strength, high vibration. Donovan Myers has joined us as well, said that that crystal one makes my teeth vibrate. Actually, it did me too. I don't have teeth. It looks like I do, but I don't. Just to be transparent. And it was making my jaw vibrate as well. So that's very interesting, Donovan. Oh, cool. CC said that she's outside at a fire pit and her neighbors were listening in.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
how fun.
So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's great.
Team Trump said, I saw the ocean and flowers. And he said,
Aw.
waves.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Fawn said, my thought was purity, like a child's music box with a dancer twirling.
Oh.
Cool. Thank you. I love these shares, you guys.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I know. So Team Trump said flower and seabirds calling with a lot of stops, no limit when I seen stars. Then cupcakes. It was very varying power.
Yes.
Ooh, cupcakes, eh? All right.
Well, one of the things that just came to mind in all those shares is there was this, it ties into what Lisa was saying. I don't think tension is the right word, as in something being tense or a push me, pull you, but the tension when something is forming a cohesive structure. So when particularly when the two bulls were singing with each other, what I got was Sheila's switching from the intellectual exercise or the tentative nature to the alchemical epiphany and the I've got it, or her standing on the edge of forever, right?
Yes, I could feel that as well.
That holding all of that frequency in her sphere.
Yes,
Wow.
exactly.
We actually have some more here too. Lori Wheeler said, my words, pineal and throat, crown, flutters, heart, strong, really nice feeling in my head. LOL. All I can say is that feeling was also almost orgasmic for the brain. Now, that's very interesting, and I'll tell you why, Lori.
Yes.
I have a friend that I've known here locally for more than 25 years. Well, I think we've known each other right about 25 years because I met her right after I moved here. And so her children have grown up knowing me. They're in their 20s now. And the youngest one, when we were talking one time, the oldest one said that she felt like I was more in here. Now, these are folks that, you know, don't speak on these kinds of subjects or anything like that, right? With my divorce and things changing in my field, a lot of folks have been a little confused and concerned, and you know, those kinds of things. And so I asked. We were all having coffee one day, and I asked, you know, well, what do you think about what's taking place for me? Because there's been a lot of changes. And she said, well, you just look like you're more in there. I've shared that before, right? And I do feel like there's more of me in here, which is, I thought, very interesting that she would word it that way. But the youngest one, and this goes to what you're speaking on, Lori, she shared with me, not that day, but a little earlier on, that my voice has always caused the top of her head to tickle. And when she shared that with me, I said, oh, really? I said, well, wow, has that always been? Or is that just something new? She said, no, it's always been. She said, but recently it's even more so. It's like, it's really strong. Now, it made me remember that when I was little, I noticed that your voice makes my head tickle. Well, that kind of, you know, that was when I was discovering about the fact that my voice does apparently have particular codes and things like that in it. So it's interesting that you would say that, Lori. That's really cool. So Make Earth Love Again, who is also a Lori, said, I felt lots of glitter. And what Lisa said about all the colors, I felt that then, like all the glitter flapping in the wind of a huge colorful flag, which kind of correlates. Yeah.
Yep.
Angie said, I saw her toroidal field giving off energy. And and then she, Make Earth Love Again is saying, Lori, I felt that too in my heart chakra, like a vibration of a reverberation of vibration.
Yep.
It's interesting as you're it's almost decoding of the frequencies and the toning of the bowls, right? And you're sharing what people are. It's almost like the different parts of my body, legs, feet, arms, elbows, and stuff, are toning different, like their bowls. And as you're reading the different things, and they're kind of in syncopation with each other, it's almost like someone's using a mallet to tone different parts of the body. I've never had that happen ever before. That's very interesting.
Wow, awesome. Well, it my voice has been changing recently, in that I've noticed when I speak, it depends on what I'm doing, but the vibratory in my own physical vessel has changed. So I don't know what that means or anything else, but it's just very interesting to me that now you're having that as I speak. So interesting. Well, let me finish with what everyone else is saying here about this. And Team Trump said, really strong, like a star birthing. And Lori's Make Earth Love Again, Lori said, it was like a matador's cape. All right, cool, man. But I like it.
Yeah.
Like a verbal ration. Okay. CC said, brings me to my meditation in a clearing in a forest, waiting for my path to reveal. That's cool.
Oh, that's very
Yeah.
cool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And Team Trump said it gives you emotions after as well. Powerful. Aw. Oh, thank you. Lori, I noticed that myself. Lori Wheeler said, yes, it does, Sheila. Your voice this morning was stronger than the last couple of days. So
Ooh.
yeah, there's something, just changing within my field. So,
Yep.
wow. All right. Oh, this is so much fun. I'm so
I
glad
know.
you guys are all down for this. This is so cool. So now we're going to do BZs. Okay, which one of us wants to go first here?
I'll go quick. It's interesting. Right from the very first note or two, I grew up in New York City as a kid, and at the, I think it's at the, I can't even remember the name of the zoo, but the zoo in Central Park, and there's a bronze clock above it that has all different animals on it. And as each time that it reaches a different hour, it has all different kind of chimes that go, and the face of the different animals, as it goes each thing, but it's cylindrical. So that's first what came as I saw the clock and the resonance of and was there as just a child. And then all of the animals came to life, and they were dancing in harmony with the sounds. And then all of that disappeared, and it was realms. So there were animals, creatures, beings from many different realms that would, how like if you're watching something on a stage and there's spotlights, it's kind of spotlight, and there's something on a podium or something, and it's a big light that's circular, and it highlights that, and then that goes dark, and then you can see where you may not have seen before because your attention was over there. You see another
Right.
coat, right? So it was
Yep.
doing that. The different realms would be illuminated with the different beings, some of which I've never seen that I can remember, you know, and we're joyfully dancing or just being or emoting is the thing that comes to mind, but I don't know that it was any particular emotion that I would say joy would be the blanket one. So it was this I don't know, it was this very cool dance between all of them.
Okay, Lisa, you want to go next?
Yeah. For me, that was the strongest one. I heard, I think, every note. There was a little bit of still some disturbance in the headset, so there were parts that were a little flat, but it was super solid, the sound, and very, very strong. And that's also been my experience with you too. And then came in all the different, as you just said, realms. And I would have said dimensions. Like, so I saw a slinky open up like this. And I could feel the different notes sort of in different places. And then I could see and feel the blending of them. You know, like sometimes it went this way and they'd all light up or connect and kind of sing for me. Or it would go this way. It wasn't, it was simultaneously, you know, so all happening now, right? But you could also pick out the different parts of it and sort of focus on that and yet feel the unity of all of it. It was just glorious. Do some more. I love that one.
Well, for me, it was very interesting in that I definitely felt the multidimensionality
realms,
piece of it,
yeah.
Lisa, for certain. I didn't have specifics onto the realm. I had what I would classify as a personal experience, personal to me.
Okay.
And I don't, so, and the description of it is thus. I felt enveloped in almost a sphere of green, but it was tinged with gold sparklies on the outside of this sphere that I personally felt enveloped in. And then all at once, and I don't know how many of you may have seen this movie called The Fountain. And it's also, I've seen that video clip used in other things as well. There's a spot where Hugh Jackman is being taken in the light upward. Okay. And he's in a spot of what could be considered surrender, like this, with his back arched and his arms back. And that is exactly what I felt. And I felt that whole scene, right, within that sphere, right? And so this was, like I said, this was very personal to me, as I felt like it was happening to me in that moment. And it was the word surrender actually came in for me. And after that, it was just, it was kind of like just very much bliss is what I would refer to. So that's very interesting. I did feel the multidimensionality of it. And there was at one point before that point of the takeoff, so to speak, that I felt not confusion, but a sort of and not really chaotic, but because it was a multidimensional feel, there was a what to look or see first. You know what I mean? It was nothing, no fear or anything like that. It was just so much at once kind of feel. You know what I mean?
Hence the surrender.
Well, I think so. Yes, I really do think so. I think you're right. Okay, so, oh, well, apparently I stopped reading before I saw all the comments about me and my voice. Thank you guys very much. Uh, Lori or Jennifer Brown has pointed out before that her 5-month-old granddaughter loves to hear my voice, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, so and I know when we were together once in Zoom, boy, she sure did have eyeballs for me. So that was adorbs. And Yellow Brick Road said, I feel that your voice, Sheila, is emitting a higher level that has drawn me to you, like a calling to me. Interesting. Kathy Ashby is asking, is that bull a G note, a heart chakra?
The white bull is a heart chakra, but it's an F.
It's an F. Because these are 432 hertz.
They're both 432.
Right. I wasn't sure if you were present for that.
And they're both crystal.
Okay. Now, Yellow Brick Road said, I felt the fall of old religion and the begin of oneness.
Oh, wow.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And Make Earth Love Again says, I'm seeing bluebirds, nothing but bluebirds. I hear that song. And Yellow Brick Road said, I pictured the church bells ringing and falling to the ground. And Make Earth Love Again said, about blue skies, but with birds. So she was saying she was heard that song about blue skies, but it was birds. And so Team Trump said, I saw a totem pole, I saw a totem pole, a bridge. And Jennifer Brown said, so strong, deep, and intense, as though in a castle in the deepest unknown depths of the sea, where all is calm and new. I received newness / renewal really strongly. That's the same thing. Really, that's actually the same feel that I feel like Yellow Brick Road spoke to. Make Earth Love Again said, Liberty Bells, freedom. Heart, and Lori Wheeler said, heart, emotional, ice, very sharp edge, white upward light shining out of head, bursts, ears, and area in between ears felt organic again, not the whole, or orgasmic again, not the whole brain this time, but in between, the area in between the ears. Angie Adkins said, I saw her dancing in her yard with butterflies.
Oh.
Fawn said, I felt like I was walking towards something, a change I heard. Do not look back and keep walking toward the horizon. Lori Wheeler said, confusion at one point. See, I wouldn't, for me, it wasn't confusion, but I feel what she's saying, what she's speaking to there. I really feel like that was very similar to what I got. Something, and Team Trump said, something happened that gave you a new opportunity to make a change. A lot of stillness with a breeze, trees. It was painful at times, but someone loves you, BZ, a lot. I felt it. I felt it per level. And Fawn said, I saw my backside and I had the feeling of just walking away and feeling released of all that holds me back. Very deep feeling of being free. Kathy Ashby said, I saw myself moving very fast through what resembled a street/road and noticed blurry structures on both sides. Either I was moving very fast or my surroundings were moving. And Yellow Brick Road said, I would like to thank you for this experience. It's helping me to learn how to trust my visions and something real as something real and not just my imagination. Oh, honey. Honey, you are so in the right place. Can we talk? Because let me just say, we have all been through that. Yeah, you got here just in time.
Does she know why we're all laughing? Because it's love, joy at what you've said.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Please know that we laugh because we have all been there. Some of us a little more recently than others.
Well, one of the reasons that I'm laughing is because you said, instead of just my imagination, but that's everything.
Well, that
true. Unlocks the door to everything. That's the power that lets your wings unfurl and you can fly. I mean, you not only are flying with the dragon, you are the dragon, and you're the whole sky as you fly.
Yep.
Without your imagination, you have your wings tied behind you to being the creator being that you truly are.
Yep, absolutely. And Tammy Batista is in the house again. I am so excited to get to meet this lady. I cannot hardly wait. Tammy's the gal who wrote the letter to Trump that I recorded, and she is going to come and have a conscious conversation.
Yay!
I'm so excited about that. So
very cool.
She said that she has sound bath meditations at her center. She said, one of my favorite healing modalities.
Yeah, I love the sound of that.
And Jennifer said, I think we all go through doubt. Each new thing, I wonder. I have begun to be able to see auras intermittently. Oh, awesome. Ooh. Awesome. Well, yeah, I want to speak to Yellow Brick Road here for a second, because part of why I've been guided to do the lives every day and the my intuitive reading sessions has been all about my trusting myself. It's all about just opening myself up and trusting what I get and sharing what it is, regardless of what it might sound like to others. Is I don't have to worry about that anymore. And I know what you're saying, BZ, in regards to imagination. But all of us grew up hearing, oh, that's just your imagination. Like that's such a bad thing. Well, actually, when in reality, that is where every single thing that exists begins, is in our imagination.
So you pull it out. And you pull it out and you set it out there.
Exactly correct. All right. So, and Lori just said, "Aw, BZ, that was the most beautiful description I've heard." Fawn said, "I think of the movie Peter Pan. Once he found his imagination again, nothing was impossible." Listen, a lot of stuff that there's a lot of stuff in a lot of stuff. Yes, but there's also ways to see all of that. So I'm in full agreement. There is, when they say there's disclosure in movies and stuff, that is true.
Yeah.
And it's there on both sides. One
thing that has come in for me, actually, I wish I could complete with the video because the video is pretty cool, but is looking at all of these. So hearing them aside from doing, creating it, hearing them, hearing what everybody is giving voice to their conjuring that they had. presented a different picture to me. So what is coming is that the setup was, Sheila said, well, feel and tune in and focus on one of us and play the bowls. Thinking that it was me, right, in kind of in that way, where I was playing what was evoked of you in me through the bowls. Yes. But as I'm kind of experiencing all of this and putting it together in a cohesive structure in a multidimensional way, each song, so to say, is the being giving voice and transmitting to others through the bowl. And I just let the song, I put on a record player, the needle down.
Cool.
So that
I think that's, and I think that's a really good way of describing that. I would have to concur with you in that.
And the magic of it is that as that toning, as that transmission comes through from each being, and it comes into connection with each other being, whoever they are, it opens, it's an opening and a reveal to them. Not of something else external, but of them. In other words, the very act of them meeting it, does that make sense? Meeting it and connecting it, it's like it opens a hidden door, or it decompartmentalizes something that is ready to burgeon forth. That's just what I'm getting.
I'm sorry, I cannot believe you picked that word right out of my head, BZ. That was awesome. I said burgeoning in my head. I love this. I absolutely love this. I want to ask this question of the two of you. Okay, so the Donovan Myers says, does imagination come from the heart or the brain? And I want to say that my immediate answer was yes. That's
yes. My feeling of it is that it comes, yes, but the brain is in service to the heart. So the heart is the projector and holds the space of 0 point of no thingness. So all of that is there, and then in service to each other, they kind of coalesce what parts of it they want to. Like they might see a color or a shadow, which is then a form, and then, oh, hey, and you're off to the races playing with the different things that come forward.
Jennifer Brown said, I always felt imagination came from the pineal. Now I find this also very interesting in these moments of now that we've got fireworks again tonight.
Yes, we do.
This time I can hear them. So I think that's very interesting. This is night number 2 of our 3-night energetics. So,
well, we've got lots to celebrate. That's all.
I know.
Some fireworks going on.
So, do you want to try the melange?
Yes, I do. I want to share this real quick first. So Jennifer Brown said, I always felt imagination came from the pineal, but the pineal is not isolated from the heart. It is creation.
Right.
And honestly, what I'm feeling in this moment of now is that all of those are actually sort of correct, because for me, the way I hold my energy as being coming into my physicality, and this physicality is the lensing mechanism. So it actually engages all of these things. And when you spoke, BZ, to it emanating from the heart, I don't know that this is the way this actually works. But for me, when I picture my energy, it enters into my vessel thus. So it's really sort of coming in from this way. It kind of comes in from every way, but and then my reality that I'm creating as I move comes right straight through my heart, just like a prism. Like I've said before, I feel like my physicality is a actual lensing mechanism for my soul. It's a teeny tiny little, it's not little, it is, but it's not. It's laser focused is what I'm saying. And it enters into the physical vessel, and then all sorts of magic things happen from there. So
Yeah. For me, the creativity and the imagination is accessed best for me when I am in alignment. So when I'm listening for the messages from my heart with my high mind, and then the two work together. So I'll get an inspiration, and then I'll use my mind to help me translate, if you will, the impulses or the energetics into a physical expression. So they work together. They have a joint plan, meaning everybody has a role and everybody has a part. And for me, I don't have a real deep connection with my pineal. That's one of the things that I have been putting my focus and attention on. And so I feel that when I am fully aligned and connected with my pineal, I think I'll be able to see more, like in my mind's eye, because I don't get a lot of visual. That's very rare for me. So I'm kind of holding it in this moment of now, like the alignment of all three of those things really create that that sustained multidimensional access to all of me, and it is unencumbered to flow through me and into the world.
I like that.
Beautifully said. Very
Yes,
beautifully said.
beautiful.
You know, you brought back something that I haven't thought of or experienced in, I don't know, I have to do the math, but I think I was 18, 19, and I had a million books on this and that, meditation or visualization or working your pineal gland, all this kind of stuff. And apparently I was just doing it wrong. And I don't remember, I was someplace with someone who was good at it. And I don't remember it was an actual reading or just sitting together chatting with. And they said, close your mind, and what do you see? You're sitting in a nice comfy chair, kind of like this one, and you're in the projector room of your mind, so your pineal gland. And what do you see? And I said, it's black. I can hear the projector going. I can't see anything. and they laughed and they said, okay, well, yeah, but listen how you describe that, so you're already aware. Anyway, so they said, well, you need to turn the lights on. And what it comes to you when I say that? And I said, well, I need to clean the light bulb in the projector housing, because it's, got sometimes when the bulbs superheat and stuff in an old projector. People familiar with that, they're different than they are now. But in the old movie theaters, it used to be an actual projector with a light bulb, and so I was very familiar with that, the way I was growing up in television. So I thought, oh, okay, and I remember doing something, and then it was like there was a very dark yellow across it, so I could anyways, from that moment, I kept doing whatever I was doing and moved on. So now that I don't even need to have my eyes closed, I can have videos come right across the screen, the same thing I'm doing. But I loved how when you were saying that, Lisa, I haven't experienced that or thought about that, since so many years, but I thought, well, what a wonderful intersection, like we all have, and we don't really appreciate the trueness of it at the moment. But we have gone through different intersections in our life that just that chance meeting or the little moment here that opens up that clears off the lens on our projector screen or whatever it may be for you, in different things. And it seems right this moment that we're all reliving and bringing those all in a coalescing moment to discover. It's almost like, how do I say it there? It's almost like perhaps each of those things for each being is coming together, and in actually, in just remembering it for a moment, we do all of them at once, and it reveals, we thought that we may have learned things or cool things, but it reveals the whole toy box, the whole carousel of imagination and everything else that we get to see now.
Yeah, well, I want to share a few of the comments that are coming up here. Fawn said, I think our brain stops our imagination a lot with too much thought, and the heart releases the imagination more. And I think you're correct in that. For me, I know it has a lot to do with the programming and conditioning that I have allowed in my, in my life.
Yes.
And that we all actually are in the midst of deprogramming and reconditioning ourselves from. So I would be in full agreement with that. Yellow Brick Road said one of the main missions here is to integrate the feminine, masculine, and higher self together, the three becoming one. Yeah, that's the Trinity a lot. There's a lot of Trinity things for me that speak to that. It's all a huge metaphor. Lori Wheel, oh, well, no, Team Trump said, I flew around the Titanic last month. It was by the Arctic shelf. It was fine, no damage. I think it was an inside job, and they went to the Arctic Circle with the ship. Interesting. Lori Wheeler said, sitting here listening to Lisa, thinking the orgasmic feeling I had in my brain was activation of everything pineal, crown, and ears as listening.
Love
or rather,
that.
those were active for those people strongly. I'm not quite sure what you meant.
No, I know what she meant. Yes. Okay. I do, because we could hear it in the bowls for both of you. Because remember, I'm disconnected from the blue bowl, and I wasn't surprised I couldn't hear it.
Oh, that's right. Okay, you're right. Okay. Awesome. Well, that's very interesting.
And there was more interplay between the bowls, right?
Yeah.
But you could hear it in the last one in mine.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why it didn't surprise me.
That much more interesting, to be honest. Well, I gotta share with you what keeps coming for me with that, Lisa. Okay. And because as you know, I have some of that stuff going on too, where I don't get things right. I don't get it, or I'm not getting that information or whatever. Right. I really feel like it's whatever it is, it's not time yet, or there's something. I said this today. There's a reason I don't get stuff. I got a big mouth. I will tell everybody. There's there's a thing about, for me, I know divine timing, and I feel like that it has something to do with that in some shape, form.
Yes, because I've been consternating on this since I got here. And one thing that I just keep getting over and over and over is that I am completely abundant. and I know exactly what I need to know when I need to know it. And so I've lately, in the last 2 days, I mean, honestly, in the last 2 days, I don't have an emotional charge to it for myself. I used to get so triggered. I would just be so frustrated. And I'm not anymore. I'm not at war with myself in regards to that, because, well, so far, I really haven't missed out on anything. I just think that I have because I don't see it, and I really want to see it. And I see that now for what it is. An attachment to something, anything, is going to keep it locked in place for me. So there's that piece, but also the piece that I always do know exactly what I need to know when I need to know it. And I have exactly what I need to have exactly when I need to have it, not a moment before. And I really trust that wisdom now. So if I'm not seeing something, then I'm okay with that. And at least in that stance, that energetic, I'm still allowing it to happen, and I'm not clutching at it and, in resistance to what is, which would be prolonging that experience for myself. So in the last couple of days, I've really kind of gotten to the root of what that is for myself, which is this attachment to how and when and all of that. And it's really not my job. And I kind of had an epiphany about that this weekend, that I'm perfectly content with what I see and what I know. And it's, I'm perfectly imperfect in every way.
Well,
So I'm just gonna roll with that.
I've got to argue with that. You are
Okay.
perfectly brilliant in every way. And I have to tell you what you are doing. I don't know if anybody else can see it, but what you are doing to your backdrop as you're talking, and you're still emanating a little, you have a whole, it's the black night sky in space with all the bazillions of stars that, when you look at a picture of Earth from space, that they've, erased out because can't see them. But anyways, it's behind you. And it's almost could be, you think of a Star Trek thing where they're in space and there's a flash. But as you're talking, and when you're speaking about something that is a new thing that you've connected to, that you've come into an alignment with, that you are locked in that knowing of it, the light behind you, the sky bursts the stars, right? With the stars, and they pulse. And then when you're talking about either what you used to do, or there's a little bit of an ebb in your energy of, you're going to keep saying it, right? Until the little pieces of that, they go down. And then when you get to the point, the starbursts, it's black space, and then the white. It's fascinating. The whole time it's talking, it's showing what you're talking about.
I
Well,
love that.
I
And
have
you
to,
have a super bright light over your shoulder there.
well, I have to share some of the comments too, y'all, because the information there's been a lot about what's happening with BZ right now, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, Angie said,
I've just been watching that.
I
The same
know,
thing.
BZ's hands are glowing from the sun. Fawn said the sun shining through BZ's hands looks like she's glowing with energy. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Lori Wheeler said, like Lisa's heart chakra is strongest. Sheila's pineal, crown, and throat. BZ listens and hears, applies, and it bursts out from the crown. Kathy offers synchronicities were off the charts yesterday. Today, not as much. Had a few friends last night. We all saw orbs in my backyard and lots of lightning in the sky. Fawn said BZ has an aura of light around her from the sun. It looks so beautiful.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can't even see BZ for the light.
No, sure can't. It's very interesting. It's actually
Yeah,
very,
and rainbows at the end.
Well,
yeah,
it's
right?
Looks like
particularly
a
funny because
fireworks.
the sun, the actual physical sun in the sky is I don't know if you can see my hand, is that way, not behind me.
Wow.
So I don't know how it's if it's
Well,
the
it kind of
sunlight.
looks like there's a crystal sitting on your shoulder is what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
And it's just pulsating.
But I mean, you know, if I'm backlit, my right ear should be doing that, not behind me, because
Well,
Wow.
yeah,
the sun in
it
the
is
sky is over that way,
over
not this
there.
way.
Yeah.
So it's a,
Angie said it's like the light is dancing. Yes, we are all seeing Fawn. We are all seeing those colors dancing around
Yep.
BZ.
Yeah.
you look. It looks like again a Star Trek thing when they go into hyperspace. And
Yeah.
look at the rainbow.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Lori,
All right.
Lori said fairy sprites. Okay, so now we're gonna do all three.
We're
So-
gonna see how it goes. And I already described this to Sheila and Lisa. I'm not sure if we did we do that on camera? How I described putting these together?
Well, do it again.
Yeah, 'cause I
So
don't think so.
I got off of work and I came in to do all this, and then I had to put it in the video editing software, and I couldn't remember anything linear because I had been so tuned into this. So I'm looking at the software going, okay, great. I have no idea how to remember how to use this thing, you know, and I use it all the time. So anyways, so what I did was I first I was going to just take the tracks, the different video tracks, and stack them, and they would play simultaneously. And then I was nudged, so I put them in with Lisa and then Sheila and then BZ in the order that they came in. And then I was nudged just to slide them until I was told to stop because they're slightly different lengths. So you'll hear Sheila's begin and end because it's actually the longest running time by a few seconds of all of them. And then by the way I was nudged to place when mine comes in and then Lisa's comes in and then Lisa's fades out and then mine fades out and then Sheila's. So that's just what you'll hear. Or you may just hear, you know, cats screeching.
Stop it, BZ.
All right.
Okay. Wow. I want to go first. um, I had an immediate reaction in my sacral in between. It's that area that I've described before that I feel is the area that creative energy, the creational energy comes from for me personally within my physical vessel. It's in between the sacral area and the solar plexus. And when it first started, and I got all manner of gold and purple just swirling by. I didn't see anything else besides those colors, very sparkly in the gold, and that feeling is actually still there. It's as though it's just a resonance in that area for me. So very interesting how that, and it started out as I almost want to say an excited, anticipatory feeling when it first started. So very interesting.
Yeah,
So,
that was delightful. I had an interesting feeling. I felt like I was in water, and there was a rocking sensation of I don't know. I'm still just there. I have this total peace, like it just, my whole body just started to resonate, right? And I feel like a piece of seaweed, just sort of. I'm super content. I didn't get any visuals. Well, that's a big surprise. Well, I just still feel so delicious. So we could play that one again.
hey, I wouldn't mind that either, believe you me.
I'm still vibrating fizzies all over.
Yeah, same.
And when it started, like at the beginning, you can see that there's because the video tracks, the actual visuals of me playing them are later on time, so you can see ghosts of different images come through. You know, there's 4 hands and 4 bowls, and but after the first few seconds of all that coming, the worlds just opened up and they all merged. So you could see I could see, feel, experience, be a not only witness, but be that which I was witnessing on each individual world. And then they all came in and were overlaid, but the unification, the was more than 3, but the trinities of all of those things came in together, and they were in perfect unison's not the right word, flow.
Symphony.
Yes.
They each had a specific piece, but all together it created something quite unique and on its own.
Yes, in fact, the words that came towards the beginning, maybe about 25-30 seconds in, was love, a symphony of love absolute.
Well, until Lisa described the peace and the floaty feeling, I couldn't put it into words myself, but that is exactly sort of what I felt in that, the anticipatory, but it was also because like I said, there was really for this one, there was no visuals for me.
Yeah,
aside
same.
from the color. Aside from the color, it was all feeling in this one. So it's very
Yes.
interesting.
Yes, it was very physical. Remember I told you when I was pregnant, I have where in my womb, I would feel like a vibration, kind of like you remember the old pager, and it would go bzzz,
Right.
bzzz, bzzz. And I thought there was something going on with the baby that was creating that, like hiccups, had a certain feel. And I wondered what she was doing, right, to make that vibration feel. And then I gave birth and it didn't go away. Like it still continued and it even moved around my body. Sometimes I could feel it like on my hip bone as though, and it feels like an electronic sort of vibration with a beat. And then remember I told you recently I'd been having that sensation
Right.
back in my womb again for the last little while I have. And it's faster. So it goes bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. So it's almost double time compared to what it was. And I would get accompanying waves of nausea. And so anyway, I just noticed that piece there brought on the vibration again, only slower, not faster, but more. Yeah. So that's interesting because that is still happening. So very
Oh,
interesting.
very interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So Yellow Brick Road laughingly said Freebird, of which I think is funny. That's every concert. Somebody's got to yell Freebird. Um, but then he went on to say, I see a beach with kids playing and the waves crashing as they pick up seashells.
And I was the seaweed in that scene.
Jennifer Brown said, I felt heart opening and a sensation in the area of my shoulder blades and within my core.
Cool.
Lori Wheeler says, pineal crown flutters. There's your, because that was the word I would use for what you were describing there in regards to the bzzz,
Yes.
flutters.
Yep.
Icy sharp, orb, heart. I had some pain actually above my right eye and my left ear.
Interesting.
Well, I gotta share what came in for me at the moment I read that. For
Yeah.
you, Lori, is maybe there's something in your field that is just and it'll be for you to work out, and I'm sure that it will. But it's the minute you said it, I read that, I heard BZ's words about sloughing off distortions. So perhaps there's something in that vibratory that's just shaking some things loose.
Yeah,
So
what's that? This is so bizarre. What's that toothbrush?
the
Sonic.
Yeah, that vibrates off the stuff.
Right.
Yeah. The sonic.
So it's not just the tooth, it's all
right. So actually, Lori, that's kind of interesting, and I would love to hear more from you in regards to if something comes up for you at some other time that you might be able to tie back to that vibratory thing, sort of like I said, shaking it loose so that it will bring it around for you to actually see it and thank it, love it into wholeness, whatever it is that may come up for you. Angie Atkins said, I saw a gold triangle and church bells. Team Trump said, upper chest under my arms got tightened. Then I saw clouds and blue sky. It was awesome. And Lori Wheeler also said, so maybe right and left hemisphere were fighting each other.
could be.
Could be, yeah. Then she also went on to say, look at the funky smiley faces BZ's sun reflection has. I wasn't paying attention. So they're not up there now, but so make earth love against it. I felt like my heart chakra was singing, and there was a pool of water intercepted by a vertical pool of water, all rotating together. And then my heart chakra and my pineal gland, I pushed out into a triangle. Oh, very interesting. Kathy said, before the singing bowls, I was seeing a pale blue and white light that were side by side. Then when the bowls began, lots of violet light, and I saw you ladies' crown chakra very open and activated. Well, that's interesting. Since I got gold and purple, I find that kind of interesting there. She also said, BZ, is there a metal button or decoration on your right shoulder? Just curious.
No, there's a black t-shirt and dog hair. Kiki fluff.
Yellow Brick Road wants you to know, Lisa, you can be his weed anytime. You said seaweed. You were the seaweed. He said you could be his weed anytime.
Well, thank you kindly.
Fawn said, I was watching the light on BZ's shoulder when she did the singing bowls, and it looked like the pink light was dancing.
Yeah,
And
I saw that. That was cool. Yeah.
She also said, I felt relaxed.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Still do.
Much.
It's fabulous.
Wow.
I have to listen to that before sleep at night.
This has been so much fun.
I know.
The three combines got Rose all fired up. She came running in here, and she wants to come jump up here and say hi to everybody, but Keegan thinks it's a good time to, pretend she's an Aussie and play with her like an Aussie. So she doesn't want to jump because
how nice for Rose.
Yeah, it's very interesting how different lengths, obviously different pieces, but the assist in how to place the things seem to work out well.
Well, yeah, I'm really glad that you just followed your nudges on that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that hanging out with the two of you and having these conversations has really shown me is that, and we've had a lot of conversations about following your nudges are absolutely key. No matter how much you think they're silly or, I know that several of you that are, and we have 17 watching right now, which I find very interesting since the minutes of this add up to 17 and then become an 8. The one that's the three.
The total running time of the whole thing is 9 minutes 17. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. So, it's very important to follow those nudges, even though they don't make sense. So, for those of you that are new and haven't been with us for the past 3 years, because I realize that not everybody has been privy to all of our conversations. Do the two of you, are you aware? Let me just share with you, because I wasn't until this week. There are over 900 videos on Conscious Conversation Central now. And most of them are the three of us. There's others, of course, but so there's lots to choose from if you're ever bored and you want to know. So anyway, the following your nudges is really key, and we've had a lot of fun with that.
Well, and I was trained early on that, I'd say, well, I don't want to, or how am I going to do that? Or that's hard, or I don't have any money and I have to go do something that takes money. And that didn't work out well, because it was always something that took me down a road I thought was going to be easier. So I learned very, very quickly to just say, okay, whatever it is, okay. Fly to Washington State with 2 white labs and a cat and $27 in your pocket. Okay.
Well, yeah, see, that's and Lisa's story of the soup, that story with my sister and the soup,
Right.
you know, those kinds of things, they just, when we follow those nudges, magic, you know, I know that we are magic, but when you first start it, it's just like undeniable magic happens.
And it begets more.
Yes.
And as you trust yourself and you come into that holding and that just sublimely delicious relationship, it gets better and better and better, and more amazing things and more expansion happens all over the place. It's kind of like that light, you know, that's a good visual, the rainbow light streaming. You feel that within you. You can see it, you can feel it, it's within you. And it lights up anything and all things that you're then undertaking or experiencing or co-creating or doing a job or mission or whatever else it is.
Right. Wow. Well, we have to do this again. Well, you know, this is really cool, you know, figuring out different things to experiment with and play with. And I really love that you guys just so up for whatever. That's so cool. And the fact that you guys all, now I want to say too, before we break from here, we are planning on getting together tomorrow evening as well. So if you're around and you've had fun here tonight, come back and see us again tomorrow night. We're going to start at 9 p.m. Eastern time again tomorrow night. And I will put out another notification so everyone can find us.
And we'll be unmasking Love Absolute.
Yes, that's what we're going to be talking about. Unmasking Love Absolute. And if you're watching this on BZ's channel, which it won't be live over there, but BZ's recording as well. You know, if you haven't already subscribed to BZ's channel, please do so. And then come over to Conscious Conversation Central. Wow, I just got really dizzy. And subscribe over here as well.
That's from the rush of subscribers, honey.
Always got it.
A little disorienting. There was so many of them.
Okay, I'll buy that. And make sure to hit that notification bell. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So sorry. But that way you'll at least, you might get notified 20, 30 minutes late, but at least you'll be notified. Because we do go live a lot more often these days. And of course, I'm going live every morning now. So what else did I want to say?
I had a fun thing. I just suggested to me to suggest if people want to play with a fun thing that came on the bowls thing. If we wanted to do one, I have no idea how to do it, but okay. If we wanted to do a live one and 3 beings wanted to say, tune into them to get a song, we'll do the song live. And that's easy. I don't know if it'll come through live off of this mic, but we can try it. I can also set it up so I'm recording the videos, but the part I don't know how to do is so we hear them individually. Maybe we break for a minute and I grab them and we take the audio just like we've done here, you know, the video. But I would also think it would be fun. I was told to do the compilation of those 3. That Trinity.
Okay. All right. So okay,
cool.
so what I'm seeing now is maybe if you're interested in doing that, you can reach out to BZ, or you can reach out to me via email, and we'll make sure, I guess, right? Or how we want to do that. I don't know. All right.
Saying
Well,
okay, I don't know. Apparently I'll suss it out.
okay. To be continued. We will
That's
figure
right.
out. We'll figure. This is all on the fly.
Right.
One more proof that none of this is planned.
Right.
Right.
We all just show up, and by the seat of our pants, this is what you get.
But a good way to start is if people are like that idea, then they can let you know, and we can go from there. We can do it, live,
Yeah.
choosing people who are there, who say, hey, and do it, or ahead of time. I don't know.
That sounds like a good idea. So yes, if you're interested in being included in this, just send me an email at consciousconversationcentral@gmail.com and say, sign me up for BC's Singing Bowl experiment. And we'll do that, and I'll make sure that if, we'll let everybody know ahead of time. So there's some comments coming in here, you guys.
Okay.
Let's see. Yellow Brick Road said, we can't use old tools to create the new. They helped us to get here, but they won't create what didn't create them. We are now realizing that we are the tools. Jam up. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Lori said, shoot, I had the pull in my heart to move to Arizona for a couple of years. So I saved up, built my credit for an emergency fund for 2 years, and then took the plunge. Yep, that's the way to do it, man. She said, I still don't know why. And Fawn said, after the light show and the singing bowls, I feel like stepping back into the 60s, and all I can say is I feel groovy and really relaxed, almost like the world's problems just vanished. Awesome.
Yeah.
How delicious.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Too.
Angie is thanking us for the imagination playing, and yeah, well, it's been a lot of fun. So, I really appreciate all you guys showing up and adding your energy to this
Yes.
live envelope. That's really been delicious for
Yeah,
me.
you guys are delightful.
Yeah.
Well, and my sense too is that everybody who's here in the energetic envelope heightened or added things, added color to, or I'm not a musician
Very much.
but added something to. You were part of the cosmic cookie bowl in the bowl singing.
Yep, absolutely. I agree. And I really do feel like that's the really cool thing about going live,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So thank you to all of you for showing up and participating in the ways that you do. It's very, it touches me every time. So I really am very appreciative of all of you who do that. So there's ways to get in touch with all of us in the Show More section of every video. And like I said, make sure and like the video too. Feel free to share it if you feel so drawn, and come back and see us tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll be speaking on we'll be chatting about unmasking love absolute. So anything else, ladies, that you want to add?
I love you all.
Yeah.
Me too. I absolutely
all.
love you all. Okay, so till next time. Mwah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.